Good afternoon, everyone. So, my topic is all about the network model. In the late 1970s, an ANSI committee created the Committee on Development of Applied Symbolic Languages, which form a database task group standards for database design. CODASIL developed the network model for database. The most popular example of network model is the Integrated Data Management System, which Cullinan software introduced in a commercial market in the 1980s. A network model is a database model that is designed as a flexible approach to representing objects and their relationships. So like the hierarchical model, gumagamit sila ng pointers para matrace natin yung relationship ng records and files. Ang pinagkaiba lang is yung network model, it allows one child to have multiple parents. So, sa network model, sinusolve natin yung mga problem na hindi akma sa hierarchical model. So, under this data structure, management can track and report sales information pertaining to customers and sales type and staff without any data redundancy. So, let's refer dito sa figure 4.12. So, as you can see, nagkaroon ng record na invoice number 1. And nakapoint sa kanya yung dalawang parents, si salesperson 1 and si customer file. So, meaning yan, nagkaroon ng record na invoice 1 kasi nakabenta si salesperson 1 kay customer 5. That's why, yung mga pointers is, ayan. So, sabi dyan, si invoice 1 daw, may nakalink sa kanyang dalawang related records, which is yung SP link and the customer link. So, dito sa SP link, makikita natin na may naka-record na invoice number 2, which means na si salesperson 1, nakabenta ulit siya, but kay customer 6 na. Kaya makita niyo si customer 6, naka-point siya kay invoice number 2. Next na nakalink kay invoice 1 is ang customer link. Sa loob ng customer link, may naka-record na invoice number 3. So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, si customer 5 is nag-purchase siya ulit, but hindi na kay salesperson 1. So, nag-purchase siya kay salesperson number 2. So, dito, dahil nga allowed na magkaroon ng multiple parents, so madali natin matatrack yung child dahil connected sila. So, mas madali natin matatrack kung mga gusto nating hanaping records, for example, yung sa mga invoices. So, all we have to do is to search for their parents. Next model, we have the relational model. E.F. Codd originally proposed the principles of the relational model in the late 1960s. The formal model has its own foundations in relational algebra and set theory, which provide the theoretical basis for most of the data manipulation operations used. So, the most apparent difference between relational and navigational is the way in which data associations are presented to the users. Relational model represents the database as a collection of relations. So, the data and relationships are represented by collection of interrelated tables. So, a relational model portrays data in the form of dimensional tables. So, let's refer dito sa figure 4.13, an example of relational table called the customer. So, as we can see, across the top of the table, merong attributes. So, yung attributes na yan, ay tinatawag na data fields. So, dyan nakalagay yung mga distinct name ng each column. So, makita tayo ng tuples. So, tuples, ang tawag sa mga row. Ang tawag sa mga column is the attributes. Ang tawag naman sa mga row is the tuples. Tuples or the records. So, dyan natin makikita yung record, single record every row. So, unlike sa naunang dalawang model, ang hierarchical and the network model, sa relational model, hindi gumagamit ng pointers between records para maka-establish ng relationship. The table should be normalized. Each attribute in the row should be dependent on the primary key and independent on other attributes. So sabi, a properly designed tables possess the following 4 characteristics. So una is all occurrences at the intersection of a row and a column are a single value. No multiple values are allowed. Next, the attribute values in any column must all be the same class. Third, each column in a given table must be uniquely named. However, different tables may contain columns with the same name. Last, each row in the table must be unique in at least one attribute. Relations are formed by an attribute that is common to both tables in the relation. Let us now refer sa figure 4.14. So, for example, a user wants to view all the invoice ni customer 1875. So, magre-refer tayo sa sales invoice table. So, gamit natin yung customer number 1875. So, yung system, magsa-search sila sa sales invoice table for the records na may foreign key value ni customer 1875. When we say foreign key value, this is used to link two tables together. So, nagko-correspond siya sa value ng primary key, which is si customer 1875. So, dito, makikita natin na may invoice key siya na 1921. So, yun yung gagamitin nating foreign key para maghanap ng records. So, we will refer next to the line item. Gamit natin yung foreign key na 1921. So, makikita natin dito na it-retrieve two records. Next, we have the databases in a distributed environment. So, natakal na natin ang distributed data processing sa chapter 2. So, dito naman, the physical structure of the organization data is an important consideration in planning a distributed system. In addressing this issue, the planner has two basic options. The databases can be centralized or they can be distributed. First is the centralized databases. So, it is a database that is located, stored, and maintained in a single location. This location is most often a central computer or a database system. So, for example, dito is the server CPU. So, first approach is retaining the data in a central location. So, lahat ng data is nasa central site which is the CPU. So, once na mag-request yung mga IT units, so ayan yung mga IT units. Once na nag-request yung mga remote IT units, so magsasend sila ng request for, kunwari, mga datas, files sa central site. Once na natanggap ng central sites yung request nila is, so ihahanapin nyo ng central site yung request nilang files and then isi-send back sa kanila. So, central site performs the functions of a file manager. So, doon nakalagay lahat ng files and folders na kailangan. So, dito sa centralized databases, mas madali malolocate yung mga data kasi nakastored lang siya sa isang file. So, a fundamental objective of the database approach is to maintain the data currency. So, what is data currency ba? Data currency is a monetary value assigned to data to identify its financial significance to organization. So, nag-a-assign tayo ng value sa data para ma-quantify natin yung importance nila sa business. So, once na na-assign na natin yung value, once the monetary value of the data assets is identified, yung evaluation na yon is makakatulong sa organization sa data management. So, it may be used as the unit of exchange in transaction, either the sole payment or in combination with money.